Thanks a lot. It's great to be here again this year. I think this is starting my sixth season at East Carolina, so the sixth time to be at this event. And I was mentioning to a couple of the staff members over to the side, I think a lot of credit needs to go out to the American staff and the American Conference office on the job they've done with this event this year, because in my opinion, they've kind of raised the bar another level just with putting on this event. The creativity and some of the social media content and some of the opportunities for the student athletes, I just think they've made it a little bit more special this year. So just a great job by them. I just want to say, starting out, best of luck and congratulations to Mike Oresco. Certainly Mike did a tremendous job with this conference for over a decade and really put the American Conference on the national stage, and was very good to me in my time with him in this conference, and just excited about Tim Pernetti and his vision for our conference. Had the opportunity to spend a lot of time with him last night talking about his vision, his plan, and just came away with our changing landscape in college athletics, and in particular college football. I think just his creative thinking, his open-mindedness, innovative leadership, positivity, those are the things I took away from my conversations with him. And I think everybody at this event the last couple of days probably have similar thoughts after their interactions. And so we're all excited about his leadership moving forward with this conference. It's an exciting time of the year. This event, and then we have an event in the Carolinas coming up on Friday, they kind of kick off the fall and in college football season for us. And probably as excited about this fall as any. This is my 14th year as a head coach at the college level, and probably been anticipating this one more than any. Disappointed in our performance a year ago and the way things turned out, and knew we had a lot of work to do immediately, and knew that there needed to be a lot of change. And for us, I think change not only needed, change was good. And so went to work last winter, and really excited about the hiring of John David Baker as our new offensive coordinator. He was been the co-offensive coordinator at Ole Miss the last couple of years, and he's brought in a breath of fresh air on that side of the football. And he and the staff that we put together, they did a great job this spring with our players. We were able to bring in some players in the winter that matched the scheme that he wanted to run. We were able to retain the current players that we had that fit maybe even better in this scheme than they did in the previous scheme. And coming out of spring practice, I think everyone in the program just had a huge amount of optimism about what the potential for us this fall was. We returned a lot of experienced players, particularly on the defensive side of the football. And that defensive unit was a very strong unit last year, and we expect it to be as strong or stronger again this year. But just the cohesiveness in our locker room between our returning players on both sides of the ball and our new additions that have come in. Just feel really good about our roster going into fall camp. Two of our players here today that we brought with us, Savone Ravel, all-conference corner, and I think one of the better corners in the country, and Rajay Harris, former all-conference running back, who is as healthy as he has been since his freshman year. Both of them represent a lot of the qualities that are evident throughout our locker room. They're both outstanding players, and I expect both of them to have great seasons this fall. But if you spend time with them, they're more outstanding young men. And I'm blessed to be able to spend my days with student athletes like them. And they're not the only ones in our locker room. But for me, that's really the highlight of my job is my interactions with those young men and being able to work with them and what we're trying to do with our program. It's an exciting time for Pirate football. And I'm very fortunate and blessed. As Tim said, East Carolina is a special place. We have passionate fans that care about our program. They show up on game day, and there is no more of a rowdy environment in our league and as rowdy as any in the country as Dowdy-Ficklin Stadium on Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays in the fall, whenever game day is. And all of us are looking forward to August 31st in our home opener, because we get to start off the 2024 season and prove on the field what we all feel we can do internally. Our expectations are very high for this year, and our players believe in what we're doing, and they believe in each other, and we're excited to get started with it. We know we've got a tough non-conference schedule with games like Appalachian State at home and going to Liberty on the road. We know that we have a tough conference opener with UTSA coming to Greenville, but I'm excited they get to come to Greenville. It's going to be good to have a team of that caliber coming into Dowdy-Ficklin Stadium for the conference opener. Excited for our new conference member, Army. I've known Jeff Munkin for quite a while, and he's done a great job up there. It's going to be a very tough road game for us there later in the season. But as you look at our conference, I think that there are a lot of us that feel the same way, that a lot of us have a chance to win the conference championship this year, and I think the Pirates are part of that group. We'll figure it out on the field this fall. We all get our turn, but I couldn't be more excited about what's coming up. Questions?
All right, our first question will come from the Arlington Boys and Girls Club, back center.
Hello, my name is Preston, and I just wanted to know, as an inspiring person yourself, who inspired you the most in your life?
Thank you for that question, Preston. And for me, that's a pretty easy answer. My dad, and growing up, he's the one that taught me how to throw a football. He's the one that taught me how to shoot a basketball. I watched him get up early every morning and go to work. He was a tireless worker, and we may not have had the most in the world, but he worked very hard to make sure that our family was taken care of. He was a strong Christian and lived his life as a great role model for me, and he had always supported me throughout my high school athletic career, my college football career. He passed away the week after my first game at East Carolina, but he was excited about me taking this job, and he thought this was a place that fit me and our family, and I still think about him every day, but he's always been my hero.
Questions for Coach? All right, there in the center.
Gary Smith with NOLA.com, the Times-Picayune. Before and after playing you in November last year, former Tulane coach Willie Fritz sort of said your team reminded him of his team in 2021, that you were snake bit, you were better than your record, and the program was still moving in the right direction. The next year, he also had a new offensive coordinator and system.
Right.
But how do you feel? Do you feel there's some truth in that, and that the program didn't take a big step back, or how are you looking at it going forward to this year?
Well, I think very much the way Willie felt then. He and I have known each other for a long time and have faced each other at multiple different institutions. No one was surprised by the turnaround, from 2021 to 2022, and what he did the next couple of years. For that group, a lot of it was just getting healthy and getting everybody on the same page. For us, it was, getting a couple of positions, getting the right people in a couple of positions, and getting the right offensive philosophy for us. But I very much feel like you could see the same kind of turnaround this year from our program that you saw from his. The reason I feel so strongly about that is, I've already kind of mentioned, we have a lot of returning players in our locker room that have been here for a while, and we have a very, very strong culture. And I know everybody talks about having great culture, but I challenge you, meet those two young men I brought with me today. Come and spend time around our young men. They're men of character. They're very driven. They're talented. And anytime you have a group where everybody's rowing in the same direction, and you got some ability, you got a shot. And, that's what happened to Tulane a couple of years ago, and that's what we're hoping happens to East Carolina this year.
Next question will be over to the far right.
Coach Trey Smith, College Underdogs. Just curious if you wouldn't mind sharing a little more about your quarterback room, how you feel about it. Has someone started to separate from the pack at all? I know you mentioned Coach Baker being the new addition, but you also brought in some transfers that beefed that room up. So please share.
Well, obviously we didn't play very well at that position last year, and that was kind of our Achilles heel. We knew we had to bring in some talent in that room. And so we brought in Caton Hauser from Michigan State, where he started the last, I think, 7 games there last year. And then Jake Garcia from Missouri. Jake had started a couple of games at Miami the year before. Both of them were, Elite 11 kind of, top recruits, kind of guys coming out of high school. Both of them have incredible ability, talent. And so, we brought in 2 because we felt like we needed the competition, and we didn't want to just have, everything in one guy. I'll tell you, the spring it couldn't have went any better. Both of them played at a very, very high level. We rotated them all throughout the spring. And I was excited for our fans that, our spring game probably couldn't have went any better. I mean, they both came out and lit it up in the first half. And showed the accuracy, the arm strength, the ability to read defenses, the ability to make the right checks, and so we're very excited about those 2 going into the fall. And I honestly, and I know you guys don't believe us coaches most of the time, but it's a toss-up right now. It really is, and for me that's a good thing because. I think we have 2 capable guys that can go out and win in this conference. We've got to make a decision before August 31st, and we got to get the timing and cohesiveness down with those guys and our receivers. But we go into the fall feeling very, very good about both of them.
More questions for Coach right there in the center?
Coach, James Seglanti, White Red Sun. You were talking about Coach Baker and his experience at Ole Miss. He also had time at USC in North Texas. Is this kind of a sign that East Carolina is kind of going back to where they were under Ruff McNeil, where they kind of had an air raid offense and they were just spreading it out and just attacking people, stretching them all over the field, and forcing defense support to defend the whole field?
Well, obviously this is a pretty drastic adjustment for me. I've at the Citadel I ran the wishbone, so this is probably as far from that as you can get. But it's it's a combination of Coach Baker has a lot of influences. Whether it's Graham Harrell or Art Briles or Mike Leach or Lane Kiffin. I think he's taken a lot from all those guys. And this is his offense, and so this is his version of the things that he is. And as coaches, we all steal from each other. We're all stealing ideas from everybody. But it's going to be a kind of his idea of what he's taken from all those offenses and put together. We are going to be extremely aggressive. We are going to spread the field vertically, and we're going to attack horizontally, and we're going to do it at a high rate of speed. We had to make sure that we had the personnel to match that, and that's why we were so aggressive in the transfer portal back in the winter. But we go into the fall camp feeling like we have the tools around the quarterbacks to run this system. And so that's why I can't wait for August 31st and every week after that to see what this staff and these players can do on that side of the football.
Other questions for Coach? All right, thank you, Coach.
Thanks a lot. Go Pirates.